Welcome students, another class of science, continuation of the previous chapter that we are doing, skeletal system. First chapter you finished, air. Second chapter we have already started, the first part, the skeletal system. In continuation, the second part of the same chapter. If you quickly recapitulate, we have done the skeletal system. About the bones we have studied that makes a skeletal system. You have done the different parts of the skeletal system, and we have finished the skull, vertebral column with the ribs. We are left with the limbs, and then we have to do the joints and muscles that we are going to do today. Now, limbs. Which part of your body called the limbs? The two lateral parts that we have got, the hands and the legs. Normally in scientific term we call them forelimbs. The hands are called the forelimbs and the legs are called the hind limbs. So we are doing we'll start with the limbs today first. So now in the limbs you can see, I hope you will be able to see it here. You can see it here. This is your one pair of the forelimbs and one pair of the hind limbs, the two legs and the two hands. Now, forelimbs, we have got one long bone here. One long bone is here. Then we have got in this lower part of the arm, we have got two bones here. And then we have got the wrist and this part of the hand. We have got 27 small bones there. So this upper part, this upper arm, the long bone of the upper arm, long bone of upper arm. It's called then two bones of lower arm, and then we have got the wrist and the bones that make the fingers and this hand part. This one, the long bone of the upper arm, this is called humerus. Humerus. Here the two bones, you don't have to learn the name, they are called tibia and fibula, but you don't have to learn the name, just remember there are two bones. And the wrist and the hand together, they have got small 27 bones. Now here we'll have to learn about one more thing, that the long bones of a body, you know, bones are all living. They have got the blood vessels, they have got the nerves in them. And they are hard, they are rigid. But the long bones of a body, they are hollow inside, they are hollow inside. That's called the cavity. In the center, the long bones have got the cavity, which is filled with very important substance, which is called the bone marrow. This bone marrow is very important because the blood cells, the red blood cells of a body, the white blood cells of a body, they are all formed inside the bone marrow. So the two hands that we have got, that is called the forelimbs. I'll write it here for you. This is called forelimbs. Forelimbs, what do we learn in forelimbs? One long bone, humerus, two bones in this lower part of the arm, and 27 small bones which makes the wrist and the hand part. That's the forelimbs. Now second, then we come to the hind limbs. Hind limbs, or we can see the legs. You know, we have got a long thigh bone, and this is called the femur bone. Long thigh bone called the femur. Very, very important in the sense, this is the longest bone of our body. Femur is the longest bone in our body. Then we have got again 2 bones making the lower part of the leg or the middle part of the leg, and we have got the ankle and the foot made out of 26 small bones. So again, for the hind limbs, the femur bone, the long thigh bone that you have, the 2 bones which is called the shin bone and the calf bone. Shin bone is the front one and calf is at the back. Calf muscles, calf bone, you must have heard about these words. So calf bones and the shin bone, the 2 bones that make the lower part of your leg, and the ankle and the foot, the 2 feet, sides of feet and the ankle made out of 26 bones. Wrist and the hand 27, ankle and the foot will be 26. Middle, this part of the arm 2 bones, middle part of the leg also 2 bones. The upper part is the long 1 bone, even for the thigh 1 long bone, and the femur bone is the longest bone of your body. And again I'll repeat, the long bones are hollow inside, filled with one very important substance called bone marrow, where the new cells, the new red blood cells and white blood cells are formed. Bones are rigid, you have already learned in the first part. Bones are hard, and what happens, they are living, they have got the blood vessels in them, we don't see, but they have got the blood supply, and because the cells are living, obviously they will breathe, they need oxygen and other important substances, and they have got the nerves also. Clear? So this is your 2 limbs, the forelimbs and the hind limbs. So we have done the skull, we have done the vertebral column, and we have done the bones. Now the next part of it will be the joints. What is the importance of joints? What do the joints do? What is a joint? Joint means where the 2 bones meet. The meeting place of the 2 bones is called the joint, and they make the movement possible along with the muscles. Yeah, in the previous class we discussed, if we were made out of 1 long bone, 1 bone here to here, 1 from your pelvic girdle to your feet, or 1 full backbone, 1 straight long bone, would there be any movement in the body? No. So joints are the places, they make the movement possible in the body. So we are going to learn now about the joints, how many types are there in our body. So our next topic will be the joints. So what are joints? The joints are the meeting place of the 2 bones. Where the 2 bones meet, that is the joint. Clear? And the joints where the 2 bones meet. Now naturally you know when in the machines also, if the machines, when they have the friction, what happens? They get damaged. So also here also in our body, between the bones, to avoid the friction, some tissues are present. So the tissue which is present between the 2 bones of the joint, that is called ligament. We'll learn 2 terms. Ligament is the one which joins bones to bones, and the other one is tendon, which joins bones with the muscles. So wherever there is a joint, there will be either tendon or ligament. The ligament joins bones to bones, and the tendon, the tissue which joins the bones with the muscles. Muscles, where are they present? They are present under the skin. On top of the bones, under the skin, muscles. And the muscles, you know, function of the muscles, contract and expand. So by contracting and expanding, what happens? The muscles bring about the movement in the body. That's what we get to learn here. So joints, bone to bone, or it can be bones to muscle. Now, there are two types of joints we have already discussed. Remember, immovable and movable. Remember when we did the skull? Joints, the skull, the bones which are joined together, they are immovable, they cannot move. We have got or many bones are there which joined together, but they are not moving, fixed, cranium that is made. So that is immovable. But what about the lower jaw? Remember we did the example. We are moving, we are moving this lower jaw. It is a movable joint. So joints, if the joints are able to move, they are called immovable joint. Or they can be immovable. Skull is the example of immovable joint, and the other parts of the bone. Now I'm moving my hand, I'm moving my head. These are all the joints. I can move my shoulder. So these are the joints, they are all movable joints. Now let's study how many types of joints are in our body. There are 4 types of joints. We'll do with example: ball and socket, hinge joint, pivot joint. Some people pronounce it as pivot also, pivot joint. And the 4th one is gliding joint. Very interesting, 4 types of joints. Now ball and socket. What is the meaning of socket? A curve. And ball means like a ball-like structure. So the long bones, especially here in a pectoral girdle, here the collarbone here, and the hip joint there, we have got the bones which are socket-like curve. And the long bones, the head of the long bones is like this, ball-like. So what happens? It goes and fits into this. So this type of joint where a socket is there and a ball is there which goes and fits there, this joint is called the ball and socket joint. Very simple example I'll give you. When the tailor makes your dress, he cuts this part for the armhole, and then he fits what? The arms, the sleeves. Same way, this is the cut part which is a socket, and the bone which is going and fitting there, the head part will be the ball part. So we have, where do we have it? We have it in we call it as pectoral and pelvic girdle. Pectoral and pelvic girdle means here the 2 joints here and the 2 hip joints there. Hinge joint, you know the meaning of hinge, the doors. Which direction do they move? Only in one direction, like this hand. I can move the hand only in one direction. I can't take it backwards, or the knee also. So when the joint is only moving in one direction, that is called the hinge joint. Clear? Hinge joint means movement in one direction. So for this we'll give example. You can give the example of knee. This is the example of this. Knee and elbow. 2. Pivot joint means on one you can say the stand where it can move, rotate, like this part. I can move it like this. Can I move it like this? So this joint where I can move, turn it. Or what about my shoulder here? I can move it like this. So these joints where it can move, turn, that is called the pivot joint. And gliding is the ankle and the wrist. Like I'm moving my ankle, the small bones are gliding over each other. They will not break. So there are small bones, when I'm turning it like that, or even you're turning your ankle also like that, they glide over each other. That's called the gliding joint. When I send your theory part, I'll give you the diagram in that, you can see it properly there. So how many types of joints are there? Ball and socket, hinge joint, pivot joint and gliding joint. What are the joints do? They bring about the movement into the body. Okay, and the two different types of the tissues you have learned. Where there is a joint between bone and bone, it is ligament. Where there is a bone and the muscle, it's called the tendon. So avoid the friction and to bring about the movement very smoothly. Okay, now only bones are not moving. What is helping it to move? The muscles. So little bit is left, we will do about the muscles. Muscles are a special type of tissue present on the bones and bring about the movement. Now there are three types of muscles in our body. One type of muscle called the voluntary muscle, the movement of which you can control. I want to move my hand, I am moving it. I don't want to, I keep it at rest. So the movement of the muscles which can be controlled by us, that type of muscle is called the voluntary muscle. Hands are there, legs are there, your neck is there, all these parts. Another type of muscle, it is called the involuntary. You cannot control them. For example, when you're eating your food, food is going down, going to the stomach, to the intestine or the blood vessels. The muscles that make these parts of the body, you cannot control them. They're doing their work. Contraction, expansion is automatically being carried out. So these are called the involuntary. And a third type of special muscles which makes only the heart. Continuously from your birth to your death, it's what is it doing? Pumping. It's pumping blood to all the parts of the body. Contraction and expansion is the main function. So three types of muscles are there. That is the voluntary, involuntary and cardiac muscles. I quickly write voluntary. From the name only you can make out. Involuntary and cardiac, that is only for the heart. And the interesting part, the muscles, they can very important, not only is it very important, muscles can only pull, they cannot push, very important point. Muscles can pull, they cannot push. For example, I'll give you a small example, one direction of movement this. Now when I'm bringing this, my hand here, up and down, there are two muscles here. You have heard these days, especially from the bodybuilders, bicep and triceps. And muscles are working in pairs. Now when I'm pulling it up, the biceps here are contracting and they're pulling, they're becoming shorter, they're pulling it here. And when I'm stretching it here, this will relax and this one, the tricep will contract. So what happens, this is contracting, becoming short and pulling it. So now this is stretched out, tricep is stretched out. But then when I'm straightening out, what is happening? This is relaxing and this is contracting. The tricep is contracting so that this will stretch out. So muscles, they can only pull, they cannot push. They work in pairs for one direction of movement. And the three types of muscles that you have studied about. That's all for this topic. Please go through the theory part that I'll be sending you and work out your assignments.